Hello everyone, welcome back again. So I have another question from my friend Jean. She was reading an article, it was from back in May, but anyway, I'm going to link it below the video. It's really good to read and there's tons of hot links, but basically it dives into a group called Groundswell. And while she was reading it, she was wondering, oh, is this where Ginni Thomas, because it involves Ginni Thomas completely, is this maybe where Ginni Thomas and Steve Bannon funded the coup? Like, did they do that, basically? Whew. So, anyhow, let me swap out cameras and let's explore this as quickly as I can. Okay, hold on. Okay, so as usual, I'm using Tarot Marchetti's Kipper. And I want to just let you know, so if the main woman card comes through, that'll be Ginni Thomas. If the main man, that would be her husband. But I'm suspecting that the older man, the mature man, will come through. But I'll just set the intention that if that card comes through, that'll be Steve Bannon. But it could also be the stand-in card, just to know, for, I mean, my goodness, it could be Mark Meadows, it could be DeSantis, it could be John Bolton, and his mustache, because these guys are all, implicated. It's all out there. If you read that article that I'm linking, it's quite revealing. And all the hot links for the source are in there. It's the best article. So anyway, all right. So the question is, did Ginni Thomas and Steve Bannon use funding from a group formerly known as Groundswell, which is now the 3rd Century group it's called, but did they do that to fund the attempted coup, January 6, 2021. And I'm also going to, so if the cards show that they did, I want to know, will she pay the price for it? I want to know what the future is for her and Clarence. Okay. I think that's about it right there. Oops, hold on, let me flip this over. That wasn't supposed to be that way. I'll just forget that card was there. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there's our top row. I'm doing the mini grand tableau again. 1, 2, 3, 4. What is this one right here? 5, 6, and 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. And I might turn to those on the bottom, but we'll see. Okay. All right, child. Okay, so here's our Steve Bannon. Oh, this really could be him, the immature man who has the worst health, right? This has to be Steve Bannon. Whoa. Okay. Wow. Being examined. Now, of course, he did have a pardon for, federal from Trump, but that won't help him with other issues. Wow. And he's still out there just spewing his crap. Okay. Right. Oh, there was that card. It is what it is, I suppose. Okay, so Ginny didn't come through here, but Clarence did. Okay. Whoa, so that's very telling. I mean, maybe we didn't need, hold on, let's see what's at the bottom. Maybe we didn't need Ginni Thomas to come through because the whole reading is on her and Steve Bannon. But anyway, major stress and worry about their clannish behavior and all their assets. Whoa. Worried about at least restrictions. Now, this could be gambling, money laundering coming through like gambling organizations. There's, you know, I have the book right here, but I'm afraid to, so it's this book, House of Trump, House of Putin by Craig Unger. He also wrote House of Bush, House of Saud, Saud. It's basically the Saudis. I'm a little hesitant to show you. I'll just go like this, and just to, because I'm afraid to, like, it's not cool to, you know, show you the actual photographs. And I'm pretty sure I don't have like copyright, you know, to do that. So just to know that that book is just chock full of, and there's an extra afterword in the book where he went to the trouble to show Trump's 59 Russian connections. So there's extra, you know, in this book and it's only $9. It's out now for $9. You don't even need the hard copy. But if you do get the hard copy, you know, from the library or something, that's probably really good too. You can do that for free. But anyway, I was reading in that book about these guys that create money laundering through casinos, right? Just like Trump did. And all in Russia, that was like a major, they would invest, Russian oligarchs would invest their money into gambling casinos. It made me think of that when gambling casinos in the USA, it made me think of that when I saw that card. Yeah, it is a way to funnel the money in. Right, yeah, the distraction. And foreign. So everything to do with foreign. So she is, even though her card didn't come through, the both of them are tied up in this, I mean, these cards are telling me, transnational money laundering crime syndicate. Right there. Oh, wow. Okay. All right, so let's go with what we have here. So this, I don't know who this mature woman is. This wouldn't be... this would not be Ginny, but this could be the Publix heiress. What's her name? I forget her name. She has a place in Italy. She goes between Italy and Florida. I should remember. Oh yeah, I remember because if I think of Italy, I remember her last name, Foncelli. Julie Foncelli. She's the Publix heiress. And that's very possible that she is, this card, the mature woman, is representing her. And the reason I thought of her right away is because she's come out and said that she's sorry, that she didn't know where her money was going. She was just trying to support the Republican Party. So we do have regret here in this card. And, you know, feeling really insecure. This is a card of insecurity. So this is also the way Ginni Thomas feels. You know, this is our center card here. So I'll go more into that in a moment. Let's look at these first few cards here. Okay, so this is Steve Bannon and his ill health, his immaturity and his ill health. And he's, you know, even though he hangs out with billionaires on a yacht and does all this stuff, this is him in his poverty consciousness and his immaturity. You know, you put these two cards together and you have someone who's, you know, very, very immature. His logical brain may work really well, but his emotional body is that of a wounded, very, very wounded child. That's a really important piece right here. And here, it looks to me like, I don't know if she might get out from imprisonment. I would hope not. I mean, and we did have the imprisonment card here at the bottom of the deck, right? For her gambling, her riskiness to give and pull the money through. But we do have, for at least Steve Bannon, the subpoena card, the indictment, which would lead to a grand jury trial. But the problem here is we also have all of this. This is the worst position to land in a grand tableau, whether it's a mini or a large, the whole grand tableau, because this corner here puts all of these cards weighing down on you, and this is Clarence. All of these cards are weighing down on him, and he can only look forward to the past. He can't look forward to his future, because there is no future without him going through the past. Wow. Okay, so, and it's possible too that these cards at the bottom relate to him. I've done so many readings on both of these people. They have their own playlist, so if you want to look at those. But yeah, this is both of them, in despair and restricted. One of them probably is going to get locked up. If not, they're just stuck literally in their house, mulling over all the problems. And this, we could say this is also Clarence, because he's here. He came through. It's, here I am trying to just read on Ginni and Steve Bannon and these other people with this, this groundswell. But did they fund the attempted coup? Well, we have money here. We have loyalty here. There are rules that have them down about it. It's called seditious conspiracy. I mean, Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers have all gone down. And that dude that put his feet up on one of the desks in Nancy Pelosi's office. Yeah, and right smack dab in the center. Just remember, this card is about feeling helpless and really insecure, and it can be someone who's very ignorant, and this could be, like I was saying, the public's heiress that is, was ignorant of where her money was going. But this could also be the stand-in card for, Betsy DeVos, or the Koch family daughter heiress. There are a bunch of billionaires that have funded so many Republican politicians. So that's the thing. Yeah. So when I get the mature woman card and the mature man in a reading, I tend to think of them as supportive people. But they have to, you guys, I have to keep saying this, that they can be the stand-in card for a group of supportive women and a group of supportive men. So that's a really important piece right there to remember. With the wealthy man down here, the younger wealthy man, we don't have the younger wealthy woman, but the younger man has to do with ambition. So here's Clarence looking forward to lots of communications, lots of documents, texts, emails, and even audio communications, phone calls, anything taped, recorded, that he worked on in the past that has been something, developing. And this is him going through, cases that come across the bench. Here's the bench up here. And then he has this ambition to just take in money. I think this is Clarence Thomas, who receives bribes, because he doesn't have to do anything for this money. It's something he's just given. But he is in poverty consciousness. He is in ill health. I've always gotten really challenging health cards for him. And so there's another layer of that up here, besides Steve Bannon and his disgusting health. That dude is grosser than gross. And again, like I was saying, all these cards weigh down on him. Who will rat him out first? You know, who will rat them all out to save their own, you know what? And yeah. Now this would be people. This is the card of vehicles that went to the January 6th insurrection, and hanging over the head of those who funded, the women at least, that this could be Betsy DeVos and the, without knowingly, maybe see, that's the thing, is when they gave their money to, you know, to the group, they might not have known where it was going. That's the problem with that Groundswell group. The only thing I do remember for sure about that article was that there was this like Cone of Silence coalition, and I think they said there were 80 some different leaders all over the nation, and Mark Meadows was in there, and but it was focused on this really big long-term picture of you know, and I guess that's why they changed their name to the Third Century Group. It was focused on the long-term political, like, governing, like how they would govern. So we do have that card here, because this is a political card. And, you know, man, I don't have the strategy card here, though. And that tells me something. That tells me the fact that the fact that the strategy card isn't here tells me that they didn't have a really good plan, and I get this weird feeling, and that might be one of the key meanings with this child card up here, because it could be that there's a little bit of innocence on the part of these people, these billionaires with all their money, and not knowing when they when they donate, you know, this massive amount of cash to these Republican parties or Republican politicians, they think that they're just going to save money in taxes. That's why they do it usually. But then later on, it gets funded in this awful way, and I'm thinking that they didn't know, because you know what I mean? It's being examined now, and there's regret and worry, and, you know, they can't think of anything else. And, oh my goodness, it funded, you know, this partnership. And Ginni Thomas definitely set up the meetings and then kept working on it. Now, this is, remember a long time ago when, in one of the readings, this is the Jeffrey, just, you know, when he commented and said, "Oh, that's the as you sow, so shall you reap" card, and that just sticks in my brain, and that's hanging over, so that, you know, we could call this the card of karma if we wanted, you know, if it applies, and it definitely applies now, hanging over Clarence, and he's been in on the meetings. He is not, this card came through, his card came through to teach me that he was in on everything with her. He was not a bystander. He's also very codependent on her, like they're just joined at the hip. I've gotten that many, many times. And the cards are showing it up here again too. So anyway, there's change. There's change coming through that will reveal, because we have revelation here, that will reveal who these cheaters and liars and people trying to evade the situation. It's all going to come out, right? It's going to come out that Clarence Thomas is a cheater, and he worked on communications with Ginni, and he had been doing it. He did it, this is sometimes our card of 2 years, but it shows a developing situation. And he had the ambition. He worked on it and for a long time had the ambition, and I think he took bribes. And this would, if this is Steve Bannon up here, for sure. With the Lover's card, this is somebody that's, that you're like bonded, loyal to, right? It has to do with trying to have an outcome that's, successful, but like your heart's really in it. Well, this is Steve Bannon, and he helped bring in money. I mean, it's all right here. And then this is my J6 card, J6 committee card. And here, that's further reiterated in this string here. I think that it will come out because here's the examination of the January 6th committee, and it will come out as to how the money came through. This can also be our DOJ card, the community of the Department of Justice. These cards could relate to that as well. On another layer of this here, it shows that the January 6th committee, it was really hard for them to go through that whole process. And they had to just keep going back and forth through all the, the details are here, but they're everywhere here. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. Let me move this way. Yeah, I think I covered all of this. I'm not sure I have anything more to say, honestly. Except for, just to reiterate again, how bad this is for Clarence Thomas. And and also on another level, his health. How he is emotionally dependent and in poverty consciousness. And this isn't him up here, but it's that that same, like that the person needs support. He needs support because of his health, and him being in cahoots with Steve Bannon. It's like, wow, I didn't expect this at all. It turned into a Clarence Thomas reading, and that might just be because I need to go back and watch my Ginni Thomas readings, where I really focused in on her. But they do tend to, that's how it was. I start with opening this can of worms to look into Clarence Thomas, and Ginni comes through, and the change card that showed bringing people into the Capitol, and then other people were commenting, oh, look at this, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, and that's where the whole can of worms with Ginni came in. So now I'm reading on her, and then we've got this whole can of worms with Clarence, even though he looks nothing like that. But anyway, okay, well, I'm just going to get this uploaded for you and send you big hugs, as always. Bye.